Action!
Are you going to ask questions or do I just talk?
I'll ask them. What's been your favorite part of your time at the Forge?
Okay, my favorite part, I would probably say student leadership, because I get a little behind the scenes and I know what's going on before service, and I like that. But also because we meet on Sundays and it's really fun, and we play games and we get to be all goofy for a little bit, and then we get to I've learned so much from student leadership. I learn so much more than I do just on Wednesdays, because I get double, and then we're closer, and it's just so join student leadership. This is not sponsored, but you should join if you want, because it's fun.
Shout out Lane, honestly. That's probably my favorite part. Finding a leader who you trust fully, and me and Lane, we are learning about the Enneagrams right now. I did not say that word correctly. Enneagram?
Sure.
That one. Right now, and we are the same type. And so just having someone who is teaching me every week, but also has like the same personality and deals with the same struggles as me, has been amazing. And I just love you, Lane. So sad to leave. See you one day, probably. But yeah, that's my favorite part of it all. Yay.
Okay, this is going to be I feel like this is going to be kind of like generic or just very broad, but I think the atmosphere is just so much fun, because literally every week, it's just something to look forward to. Wednesday night church, every single week. You ask your friends, Monday and Tuesday, you're going to church. And whether they're going or not, I still go, I don't care. Wednesday night church, it's the most fun. You walk in, you play games, you learn more about Jesus, you worship, what? You go to small groups, you get to talk, and then you help clean up, and then you just go. It's the most fun night of the week by far. I promise you, Wednesday nights are awesome. I look forward to it every week. Whenever I go home on Wednesday nights, I want to cry because it's over, but then I have to look forward to next week. So literally just the atmosphere. Everyone is so much fun to hang around. You literally are all growing closer to God together, and we're all a family here at the Forge. Remember that.
What advice would you give to underclassmen about following Jesus?
Following Jesus. Pay attention at church, because a lot of people just come for games and friends, which is completely fine. But if you're not coming and listening to what your pastor or Lane says, you don't really get anything out of it, and you don't have any guidance. And I mean, the younger you start, the easier it gets when you're older. Maybe. Forewarning. But you'll find a lot of answers to questions you never even knew you had before. And so I think just giving your attention to what's being spoken in church really benefits your journey with Jesus.
I would get a good schedule going early on, even if that's just going to church on Wednesday, and then that being your schedule and just coming every Wednesday. Then once you get that going good, then find a little group that you like of some friends or something, and then meet up with them, and then read your Bible more, and just add it frequently. Don't add it all at once, because that's gonna be a lot. Just dive in, dip your toes in the water a little bit, and then don't go head first. You know, that's what I would say.
Jesus has a path for us all. And if you're an underclassman, you're just starting high school, I know you're like breaking a sweat. You don't know where to go. You're asking the seniors where your class is. They're probably picking on you. But high school's stressful, but you just have to remember that God has a path for you. And I know you can edit, so let me see what else I put on this. Yes. Wait, one more. Okay. So God has a path for you. Don't try to question things. He's got you. He's got your back. Second thing, you're going to this church. Invite your friends here. I promise you it makes church so much more fun whenever you have your friends here. You get to goof off. Not the whole time, but you get to goof off before church starts, and you get to have fun, play games. It's so much fun. And not only should you invite friends here, you should get involved. You should be on the stage doing welcome. You should do impossible shot. You should do whatever. You could come early and set up games. You can stay after and take down everything. Getting involved in the church, I just feel like it's more personal, and it's just, you just got to do it. Let me see how to word that, because I sound like a third grader talking. you just gotta get involved in the church because it makes it more personal, and I feel like you get to see like the magic that goes into it, and then you get to help take down, and it's way more fun whenever you have friends to like kind of help put this show together in a way. So I would definitely recommend getting involved. And then I had one more bullet point that I remember. Don't be afraid to talk about your religion at all, because I feel like some younger people in this generation, whenever religion comes up, it could be like a touchy subject. Don't be afraid. Like, own it. Like, don't be afraid if someone's talking about a religion, just bring up Christianity. Like, it's not that hard. Like, worst thing they can do is judge, but like, you are who you are. So don't try to back down just because other people have different opinions. Own it.
How important has community been in your apprenticeship to Jesus?
It's been very important because, okay, so small groups are really good, I think, because every Wednesday we meet with our little group of girls and we've learned to like trust each other, and we know whatever we say doesn't leave the circle, and that, I think that's really good because it's also mainly my friends because we're close and I just know all of them. So it's good to have somebody to keep you accountable, and it's also good to have people you can ask questions and someone you trust, because you're more likely gonna listen to somebody you trust over a random person you're asking questions to. So
it's been really important because whenever I first started really paying attention in church, which I mean fluctuates over the years, this year especially, I wanted to just be like, oh, I can figure it out on my own. Like, I can listen to what Lane says and I can figure it out on my own. But that creates a very biased outlook on God because it's like my own views. I make them what I want to be. But being in a community, you hear all of the different theories or like the ideas or the feelings towards God, and that really helps create like a well-rounded outlook on, really well-rounded worldview on what's going on. What was the original question?
What was the question?
Community
How
been.
important has community been in your apprenticeship to Jesus?
Okay, so just being able to see how other people follow God has really helped me, because it's not like I'm modeling my behavior on how they follow God, but it's just everyone does it differently and everyone has good ideas, maybe ideas you think are bad. Like, I had never heard of the Sabbath before coming here, and Lane follows that like to a T every week. And I would have, without a community, I just would have never heard of that and never found a way to just relax and like spend time with God. So that aspect is really good. And then, I mean, just having friends and people around you who are aiming for the same goal as you is really encouraging.
So, community is very important, and I said that as I was on my phone, but community is very important because I have a little analogy for you, Mr. Camera. So pretend you're at the basketball court, you're all alone. First of all, that's kind of sad. And you're shooting basketball, it's not that fun. But then you have a big group of friends playing basketball with you. You're having a full-out game. You're having so much fun, you don't even want to leave. You didn't even realize it was midnight, and you're getting yelled at by your mom. I'm sorry if that actually happened. But the point is, whenever you have a big group of people and you're all like close, well-knit together, it makes it more enjoyable. And I feel like that is what community should be at the church. We're all a family here, and we all look forward to coming here every week because we get to interact with one another. There we go. Each and every week. And I feel like whenever you're around people that you know, it makes you more relaxed and you cannot be as tense. And that helps, especially in small groups, whenever questions are asked. You just kind of get to speak your mind and not be so scared of like what other people are going to say because you know everyone. So community is very important because I feel like it gets everyone involved and it's way more enjoyable.
What's been the most helpful spiritual practice in your relationship with Jesus?
Okay. I found simplicity to be the most helpful because like right off the bat, it just cuts out a lot of the extra stressors because I mean, you're encouraged to get rid of your social media. And so then social media brings a lot more stress than you initially realize. And then you have so much free time to where you kind of have to focus on what the whole lesson was about, which is time with Jesus. And we got rid of a lot of like physical items. And so not only was it a de-stress from like getting rid of all of the clutter, but it was like kind of a reality check, being like, oh, I have so much. And it was not only an opportunity to be thankful, but like really focus on what God has given me.
So simplicity is by far my most favorite because I feel like we all got closer as a church, quite literally, because the band was on the floor, so we were all like right there. But also we all like took part in this activity, like deleting social media. And like sometimes I'll do it, like just get off social media for a couple days. But like whenever you have a big group like that and you just get off from the fake world, I think is what someone referred to it as, maybe Lane, I'm not sure. But whenever you get off of social media for a while and you just have more time to spend time with God, it's awesome. You get to read your Bible more, you get to pray more, and just learn more stuff. And then whenever you're sitting in your chair at church, you don't have Twitter going off, you don't have Instagram going off, you don't have Snapchat going off. So you're just not as distracted as you would be. And I love simplicity so much that I still to this day don't have TikTok or Twitter, which I'm very proud of. And I feel like I don't need it. Like I realized how much time I have on my hands whenever I don't get on it, and I love simplicity. We need a simplicity part 2, in my opinion. I love simplicity so much.
And this guy cannot have TikTok. Everyone.
Yeah, you're not allowed. Delete it.
Watch the Simplicity series on YouTube.
On YouTube. Go back. I think it was like October or something.
Okay, so I liked 2 of them. First, I liked Simplify Your Faith because you get to declutter everything and not focus so much on what you want and stuff, but just what is there and what you need, and that's all you need. And then second, I really liked the prayer series because I got to learn all the different forms of prayer, and I got to it just helped me have a real conversation with God because I didn't know how to do that before, and now I do, and it's getting easier as I keep practicing, and now that I know a lot more about it.
What is the number one thing you want people to know about following Jesus?
Okay, basically, it's not going to always be the easiest thing, but in the end, it's going to be worth it. So basically, following Jesus is the best decision I've ever made, but it's also the most confusing decision I've ever made. And that's okay, because it's just, there's a lot of weird things, and that's perfectly fine. And you're going to get confused, I get confused. It's fine. That's the one thing.
It's not easy. It doesn't have to be easy, and it doesn't have to be hard, but it's a lot of ups and downs. I personally find more ups than downs, but you find a lot of doubts along the way, and that's fine, but it's confusing. You'll never know all of the answers.
Number one thing I want people to know about Jesus, he wants to save us. He's not here to like criticize us. We all sin. And I feel like some people are like, well, I've sinned too much. I can't go back. Like, there's no way I can start following Jesus. Sin is sin. Like, you can either say a swear word or you can like steal a TV out of Best Buy. I feel like sin is sin. So we're all in the pool of sin. We all need to follow God, and he's going to try to save us. And he does wonders. I promise you, after going to the Forge, I've seen it work. Following Jesus, he's going to save us. He's not here to criticize us.
The 2 worst sins, cursing and stealing TV.
I could have done way extreme, but I didn't know where this was going. I didn't want to be like...
How have you navigated disappointments in your relationship with Jesus?
Okay, I kind of talked about this already, but God has a path for you. And he does, I promise you. I've gone through many disappointments, and you just have to realize, especially after coming to the Forge, because like worshiping and then praying, like I can see his wonders working more and more each and every day, and you just kind of like don't question stuff that goes on anymore. Like, yeah, some stuff happens that's not that great, but we all kind of go through that, and like one bad day kind of makes all the good days like way better. So although some bad stuff might get thrown at you, just know that God has a path for you, and you're following it right at this moment as you're watching this video, as you're hearing my words.
I ask questions when I have them, and I have a lot of questions. So don't be afraid to ask questions, because I'm sure they have the questions, and they might, like Lane might not even have the answer. He might have to ask someone else, and that's fine. And he might have the exact answer that you need to hear. So just ask questions to anyone that you find.
This was the question I thought the hardest about, because honestly, I don't normally associate disappointments to my own journey with Jesus, even though they definitely happen along the way. Whenever I get disappointed, I'm like, it's God's fault. And I think that's been a really healthy thing for me, and it's helped with the whole like doubts and anger towards God, because I mean, everyone has that, but I think learning and trying to know that whenever you get disappointed or something bad happens, it's not because God wants to punish you. It's just a natural thing in life that happens to everybody. And I think that has been very good for me.
Nice. Guys, she's crushing it.
I was gonna dab, but then I realized I'd probably get flamed for that. I'm gonna do it anyways.
Bet you flinched.